So here's what we're going to do. I am going to do a video of all of the moves. So and that is the basic 6: commencement, open and close, single whip, waving hands and clouds, open and close, single whip, waving hands and clouds, open and close. Those are our basic 6, and those are the ones we've learned so far. So if you're wanting to practice that whole series and just want a video just for that, that's what this is. So I'm going to talk you through the moves. I'll do this turned around backwards, and then I'll do it several times with just saying the name of the movement. So here we go. So again, this is Tai Chi for fall prevention, basic 6. Get my computer right. For some reason, I struggle with the camera angles. You may or may not want to see my head. Well, heck. I know y'all love me. Maybe that's it. Okay, here we go. So, Tai Chi for fall prevention, basic 6, starting with commencement. So anytime we start our Tai Chi, we think about our body awareness. We want an upright posture. We want our feet to be about shoulder width apart, our weight on both feet. We want our shoulders relaxed. A nice, good, relaxed control of our bodies. And commence, up, down, shift the weight to that right foot, step left, bring those hands up, shift left as those hands go out, bring that right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Single whip, shift left, step right, push, turn, separate, following that left hand. Shift left, bring that right foot back, hands down. Waving hands in clouds. Step right, fix hands, wave. Shift, step, switch, 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 wave. To the middle for open and close. Single whip, shift right, step left, push, turn, separate, following that right hand. Shift right, bring that left foot back, hands down, waving hands in clouds. Step left, fix hands, wave. Shift, step, switch, 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 wave. To the middle for open and close. And close it out. If you want a reminder of what that looks like from the front, I'll do it from the front. And commence. Up, down, shift right, step left, bring those hands up, hands out, shift, bring that right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Single whip, shift, step, push, turn, separate, following that left hand, sink. Shift left, bring that right foot back, hands down, waving hands in clouds. Step, fix hands, wave. Shift, step, switch, wave. Shift, step, switch, wave. Shift, step, switch, wave. Shift, step, switch, wave, shift, step, switch, wave. To the middle for open and close. Single whip, shift right, step left, push, turn, separate, following that right hand, sink, shift right, bring that left foot back, hands down, waving hands in clouds, step left, change hands, wave, shift, step, switch, 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 wave, and to the middle for open and close. Close it out. So that's what it looks like from the front. I mean, that's the bad part about turning around, is that you can't see the specifics of the movement. So if you needed a reminder of what it looks like from the front, there that is. Now I'll turn around and simply call out the names of the movements as I do those. And commence. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. Close it out. Anytime you practice your Tai Chi, you can focus on the principles. So maybe one time while you're doing the movements, then you focus on movement control. So you think about slow, smooth, and continuous. That's generally my number one thing that I go to when I'm practicing my Tai Chi is slow, smooth, and continuous, because we live in such a world that's fast that it's really hard for me to slow down. So I often think slow, smooth, continuous. Another thing you can think about is gentle resistance, specifically when you're doing that open and close, when you're moving away from your body. You know, think about as if you were moving through water. So there's that little bit of resistance that isn't there with just simple gravity. So that's something that you can focus on. Another thing to focus on is part of the principles of body structure is upright posture. So throughout the movement, just pay attention that you are that you do have that upright posture. Another thing you can think of under body structure is weight transfer. So are you fully transferring that weight before you move the next foot? Sometimes that's a blurred line whenever it comes to slow, smooth, and continuous, because slow, smooth, and continuous often means to not stop before you make the next move. And so that is a fine line, but just to really pay attention to the weight transfer before you make that next step, fully shift the weight before you make that next step. So that's something that you can focus on. And then finally, and this is why I like to not talk through the moves, why I like to give you an example of me just calling out what moves are next. And it's because of the internal principle of our Tai Chi. And so we have what's called song, and that's what I've told you before about our open joint. So we never have a locked joint, whether it be our arms or our wrists even, or even our knees. We keep a soft bend in our elbow and our knees especially. And that's called a song joint, S-O-N-G, song. And it just means no tension, nice songed open joint. The other thing that has to do with the internal experience of Tai Chi is called Jing, and it's spelled J-I-N-G, Jing. And that is the calmness that you feel whenever you're doing Tai Chi. It's hard to really experience that calmness when you're overthinking, and that's why it's kind of next level. So once you learn your moves and you know your moves, and or even if you have the list of moves on the wall, you can think less about what's next and really relax into the movements. And you can start experiencing the benefits of Tai Chi that are about reducing stress, reducing anxiety, reducing depression, more of that mental health aspect of our lives. And so but those are the principles of Tai Chi: movement control. And under movement control, we have slow, smooth, continuous, and we have gentle resistance. We have body structure, which is our upright posture and our weight transference. And then we have the internal aspect of our Tai Chi principles, and that is the song joint and then the Jing, the internal. So my point is, when you practice the Tai Chi, you can practice with a focus in lots of different ways. As you grow and with your journey in Tai Chi, it changes. And that's the beauty of it. It's nothing that you really get tired of, because it's so complicated. You can go as deep as you want to into the experience with Tai Chi. So I'm going to turn around and do the basic six one more time. And again, I'll just call out the names. And this is a point whenever you can pick which of the principles that you would like to focus on. You might not be ready yet. You might be to the place where you're just trying to think, what even is commencement? You're in your head because you're learning, and that's part of it. So don't beat yourself up if you're not ready to think about Jing yet. That's just next level, but I always try to let you know where you can grow in terms of Tai Chi. Okay, so here we go. Basic six, Tai Chi for falls prevention. And commence. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. Close it out. So hopefully this video gave you a spot to just practice your full basic 6 movements for our Tai Chi and what we've learned so far. We'll be starting to learn our advanced 6, but here's a place for you to practice those basic. So as always, let me hear from you, give me feedback, let me know what works, what you'd like to see me try. And as we end each class, we have our strength, our friendship, our humility, and in mutual respect, we say namaste.